Hey, Jen.
Hi, Amber, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing okay.
Your
Do you
uh, your
want
audio's a little bit distorted.
Let me try this.
How's that?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
I was having the opposite problem on my last call. Clearly. I
The joys of virtual meetings, I tell you.
know, right?
All right, we have Jen Tadin with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat today, Jen.
Thanks. Hi, Amber. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, first of all, where are you and how are you doing? How's quarantine life treating you?
I'm actually based home. I think we're all home right now. And home for me is Chicago, Illinois. And quarantined here for going on, I think, about 6 weeks at this point. So if you asked me a few weeks ago, I was still working through like the novelty of not having to live on an airplane every week as I normally do. And I now hit the point of I'm ready to get out of my house.
Out of my house.
So we're sticking to it and following the rules and the stay-at-home orders, and just hopeful that we will be able to go back to some sense of some new normal in the near future. I think this is the longest that I've been home continuously, and probably over 8 years. Kind of been a air warrior for quite a while. And, it's a good little reset for all of us who get into the mode of creating normal out of Uber rides to airports and a new city and a new hotel room and an airplane and things of that sort that, kind of get back to basics a little bit and spend some time at home. So trying to stay as positive as possible amongst what we all are kind of going through of challenging times here.
So what's one thing that you've learned in the past month?
One of the things that I feel like I keep coming back to is that everything that was important before seems to be a distant thought right now. You had a vision for what we were going to be doing in 2020 and we were in Q1 and it's the time of the year that you hit the ground running. And this brought us to a screeching halt and really made us all, especially as a leader, to reprioritize what's important. And I think what we all kind of come back to, and especially when you think about leading through a crisis like this, is just this idea around, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yeah. And, the core foundation of what every human needs is air and water and food and shelter. And in the quarantine, we've now added toilet paper onto that list.
Accurate.
Maslow didn't remember that part, but we do need toilet paper. As you get to the top of the hierarchy is around self-actualization, right? So it's these things that are they're so much further away from your basic needs. And we all really kind of operate in that top layer when things are normal. And there's a lot to be said for the appreciation and gratitude that we can have for those foundational things. And whether that's at work or whether it's at home, it's important for us all to kind of go back to basics a little bit. So it's been interesting. I want to say it's been good. It's been difficult. And I think we all in some ways are having our own ways of working professionally through this, but then also dealing with the personal aspects of something that we've never lived through.
That's a great analogy, the point about the hierarchy of needs. And I think I see us all sort of trying to move up the pyramid, as the quarantine stretches out. We go from oh gosh, I need canned food and toilet paper and holy cow, what's happening? So okay, so got to settle in. We don't know how long it's going to last, but how do we make some normalcy out of it? But it's totally normal to grieve what was. I know it sounds shallow, but I drove past my old gym the other day, well, my current gym, future gym, and I'm like, oh gosh, I miss the normalcy of just going to the gym class, sweating out my tension with 30 other people. It sounds silly, but I miss that normalcy. I kind of grieve that normalcy while still operating as fully as I can in my day-to-day.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So yeah, I think hopefully we'll all doubly appreciate all of those little things when it starts coming back and when it's safe to open up.
The other thing I would say too that you said, Jim, is I'm also someone who part of your stress relief, is that you go and work out, and I'm a big group fitness person.
Same.
And I've never really thought about, it's not like I have a bunch of friends in the group fitness classes or anything. It's just, I never really stopped and thought about the fact that I like those classes because there's people in it. And so until we've been in this situation where we've been quarantined, and one thing I should mention is I live alone. So this has been a really unique experience for me because I actually have a cat, as all single women must do, you have to own a cat. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience kind of going through and thinking about all of the things that I do regularly that very much are surrounded by the idea of having people around. And the gym is one of those places, but so many different situations that aren't just the social aspects that you only think of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you think the pandemic will shape the future? What do you see in the crystal ball?
Well, I would say since we're on kind of the somewhat non-business related topic, I hope that we all as individuals and as human beings find a bit more kindness and compassion and share it and spread it. Because one thing I think that's happened over the last, I don't know, the digitized world we live in, that just creates separation of people. So we could be around a lot of people, but if you ride public transportation or if you're in an airport or anywhere, people are just constantly in their own world, in their own devices. And I think that one of the great things that I've seen is this coming together of people and support and compassion. And so I hope that continues to shape our future coming out of this pandemic. On the business related side, I do believe that and this is kind of you and I connected from our organizations, is the organizations who have been and continue to focus on the digital space are going to come out on top. This has really shown an opportunity for those firms that have been prepared to be able to transact digitally and, via whether it's telephonic, whether it's the web, whatever case it may be. You can kind of see the winners and losers in that. And I think this will continue to shape the strategies for all businesses outside of insurance included, to really make sure that they have a plan in place that involves the least amount of disruption should anything similar to this or not similar to it that might be disruptive occur.
That's a great point. Yeah, I think what we're seeing is some of these trends, such as, like the multi-channel approaches and distribution, that we're already picking up speed, just picking up even more speed. So it's not even a new trend. It's just, this has really showed the importance of that approach and that piece of a larger organizational strategy.
Exactly, Amber. And the other piece is that what it's doing is it's forcing buying behavior to change, where we have been waiting a bit for buying behavior to catch up with where we want to be able to deliver. And this is putting individuals who may not have purchased digitally or may not have thought that, from our perspective as an insurance brokerage, maybe not have thought that they would want to have consultation done virtually and they would want the handshake and the cup of coffee. Think about that differently. And so those are things that in many cases you're kind of waiting for that shift to occur, and we've been seeing it shift, but I think this will accelerate it much more as well.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah, sure will. We'll come out of this. We will come out the other side, and hopefully we'll all be stronger and better and a little more grateful because of it.
Exactly. And back up to the top of the pyramid, actualizing ourselves.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat today. Really appreciated your thoughts, and hopefully we'll connect in real life soon.
Yeah, so hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.